Here on the last. Good first set from the Dogs, picking up 60 metres. They'll make it a challenge as well. Penrith play at it, spill it, and for mine, that's a knock-on. Referee agrees. A great first set from the Dogs.
Yeah, they'll be hoping to hold the ball better than the New South Wales Cup team did earlier in the evening, and they've started off with a great set, and they've got the ball back from a knock-on from Penrith. So let's see what they can do off the scrum.
And they'll be desperate to strike first here up against the top of the table side. Even with Conti and Tauper dropping back, there's a lot of work to be done. So they'll have this scrum feed from roughly 25 metres away from the try line. Conti at first receiver on this right-hand side. Lovely shape here for Puru and a bit of speed as well. Nearly split them. Wrapped up 10 metres away. It was a good one-on-one tackle in the end from Patea. Back to the middle it comes now for Young. And then straightening here with Bud Smith, who hits the line hard. He's wrapped up 15 metres away from the Panthers try line. Latu carting it forward. Big carry from Finau. Latu still going here all the way to the try line. Just stopped half a metre shy of it. Smith waiting. Cut out on this occasion. They'll go to Conti instead. Holding up the play and then taking them on. Scored a great solo try in the New South Wales Cup last week against the Rabbitohs. Played back here and then for Tauper. Tauper linking up with Latu. Short pass from him. Set upon very quickly, though, by the Panthers. Last one brought up here for the Dogs. Left side once again. Tauper right to the line, finds a good pass. I don't think that was played out from the Panthers. That should be play on. Ooh, I'm not so sure. There certainly wasn't a hand stuck out. I thought it hit him in the chest.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. We're a long way away, but the ref was pretty quick on the call. And, yeah, Penrith don't seem to be arguing, so I'd say there was a little bit of hand there. But you're right, it did look like it was a lot of chest, but I'd say there was a little bit of hand there. So chance for Canterbury again, and they look good. They're good shape in this first couple minutes.
And they'll have to be good here, of course. The Panthers undefeated to start the year. 5 wins from as many starts. Had a couple of very close encounters, though, against the Sharks, the Roosters, and the Eels. All of those wins by 2 points, and then 8 points over the Storm last week. As now Conti tries to link up. Touched there by the Panthers.
I thought that could have been a knock-on that hit the Penrith player, but he said no.
I think you're right. I think there were fingertips from the Dogs into the Panthers, but referee hasn't seen it that way. So here we are now on play number 1, 10 metres away. Young will send it back to the middle. Short pass then from Smith. Links up with Latu, trying to squeeze through a gap. The ball comes free. Well, see, that one I've got more of a question mark over. Maybe that's the old square up.
Yeah, and there's no challenges in the Flegg, so they can't really do anything about it. If it's a bad call, you've got to live with it. But I think they were lucky to get away with the earlier one. So probably, as you said, evens up.
So in terms of the form line for the Dogs, a big defeat to the Dragons in round 1, 28-0. They had the bye in round 2. Then wins over both the Raiders and Knights in rounds 3 and 4. And then a good win last week over the Rabbitohs on Good Friday, 30 points to 20. So they're in a good little spot themselves, but none running hotter than the Panthers at the moment.
But definitely a stronger Canterbury team out here tonight with 2 or 3 of the players playing New South Wales Cup in previous weeks.
A good carry here from the Penrith Panthers. Up towards the 30. Young making the tackle. Now distributed here by Raven. Penrith wrapped up about 30 metres away. Out of acting half is Goodsell. Oh, and then found a lovely ball and through they go. So Penrith on the attack. They'll put on the afterburners too. Puru did enough. And then Hayward with the cover tackle forces the ball free. So Conti comes away with it. Kept alive out to this left-hand side. And the Dogs now have a 0 tackle just shy of the 40.
Didn't Canane show some pace, though? He certainly hit that hole at blistering pace.
I know that was one that the Tigers wanted to keep. Geez, haven't we said that a lot over the years? But that's where he was for the last few seasons. It's now up over halfway go the Dogs. If they can get Canane into open space once again, he'll trouble them. So too, though, Puru. So it's going to be a good battle between the fullbacks.
Yeah, I was just about to say, definitely going to be a great battle between the 2 fullbacks because Puru's been electric the last few weeks.
So turnover there as well from the Dogs. This will be a 0 tackle now for the Panthers. Left-hand side they come. Patea carting it forward into enemy territory. Dogs have had the early opportunity so far, but Penrith now can start to wind up. Through the middle they go. Latu adding his weight to proceedings. Good tackle eventually brought to ground 32 metres away from the try line. Left-hand side once again. Short pass, good angle there as well from Armstrong. Nearly split them. Good sell. Back to the middle once again. Catch and pass, then there for Hami Loza. Loza sends it wide. It hits the deck once it arrives to DeBrett. And that is really releasing the pressure valve there from Penrith.
Yeah, and they had the overlap. Loza did a really good job of shuffling from the left to the right. Apparently, real good player from the Newcastle, and Penrith were really pleased to get his signing, and he already looks dangerous for the Canterbury defence.
So we've had about 7 minutes of play. Dogs have probably asked more questions than the Panthers. That was really their first time down this end of the field, and it's come up with an error. Still good signs for both teams here in the opening exchanges. Now the Dogs win the scrum feed and will work it up towards the 30. Puru there scheming, waiting for his chance to inject himself into the action. Good contact there from the Panthers. 2 plays down. Now Conti out on this right-hand side. Linking up with Alatini. Strong carry from him. Plays it quickly. Met there by Judah Nullival, of course, that is the son of Joe. Premiership winner with the Panthers back in 2003. Good delivery there from Young. Now for Conti, but they stepped up quickly, the Panthers outside backs, and shut down the space. Last one brought up here. Taupo will be the man they'll call upon. Sends it high. Chase is coming through. A little bit of pressure here on Kanan, and Kanan spills it. Well, the Panthers were about to dive on it. That would have been an offside. Play on for now for the Dogs. 0 tackle, full set here. 10 metres away. Good chance for them. Latu carts it forward, big and strong, trying to get over the line. I think he has got his body over, but held up. So nervy signs there for Penrith. Kanan, of course, his first touch was exceptional into the backfield, but that one left plenty to be desired. So the Dogs still on the attack here. Carting it forward. Here's Patrick Carey. 5 metres away from the try line. Looking for Conti. They find him on this right-hand side. Short pass now for Alatini. Wrapped up about 5 metres away from the try line. Young to Smith. Through the middle. Conti once again. Taupo was thinking about the kick momentarily. Decided to hold on to it. Now will start the run. And is eventually chopped down there. Good tackle from Armstrong once again. Fast play the ball. Conti on this left-hand side. Linking up with a lovely pass for Finau. Still alive in the play here. The Dogs beating defenders at will is Nasser, who's eventually wrapped up. Well, that was energising play. Conti once again on this right-hand side. Puru there in support, puts it on the toe. A little bit too much weight on it, and it will beat them all over the dead ball line. Penrith survive, and a 7-tackle set is their prize.
Yeah, not the finish they were hoping for, but really good width and expansion by the Dogs to start this game.
So now Kanan met with a strong tackle there over the top from Bud Smith. Tackle number 1, though, outside their own 30 off the back of that 7-tackle restart.
And a third time that they've got the ball away and made extra yards.
So we've had about 11 minutes of play already. It's gone by in a flash. End-to-end action. Both teams happy to throw the ball around. It's what we love to see with the Jersey Flegg Cup.
Yeah, I love the Jersey Flegg for that very reason. These young guys are trying to make their stamp on rugby league, and they're trying to do things. It's not that dour up the middle of the whole time.
It's a good sell, hopping in and acting half once again. Now played about 10 shy of that halfway line. Kanan looking for a little bit of work through the middle. Bent backwards in the tackle. Last one brought up. Hami Loza sends it high. Puru under no real pressure though, takes it with ease and then brings it back outside the 20. So decent set from the Panthers, but not a bad spot for the Dogs to start their set.
Yeah, and they'll be hoping to get it back up the other end of the field. As you said earlier, it's end-to-end, and here's a penalty, so high tackle. This will give them good field position. First penalty of the night.
Off the back of another strong carry there from Sheldon Hayward. Just forces the defenders into a tackle they probably wouldn't like to make based on how strong he runs the ball. So here is the sideline finder from Conti, a good one. Into enemy territory they go. So a genuine chance here for the Dogs. They've been down this end a few times already. The second ball on the field. They'll get a full set inside enemy territory now. Still a player down in background as well for the Dogs, though, as now Carey brings it forward about 40 metres away from the Panthers try line. Conti hops in at acting half. Short delivery there for Latu, who was caught a little flat-footed. Now trying to shrug off defenders, the former Dragon. Signed on pretty big money as well, I believe, $500,000 a year, Finau Latu. So they've got huge raps on him here at Canterbury. Forward they go once again. Young hops in at acting half. Conti at first receiver on this right-hand side. Brings it right to the line, linking up with Alatini. Alatini set upon. 4 plays down now for the Dogs. To the middle once again. This time for Carey. Then Conti. Tauper. Turning runners back underneath. This time it was Finau who straightens up. Last one brought up here for the Dogs. Tauper brings it forward. Flat pass and then a little bit too close to the defenders. They're under all sorts of pressure and the ball is spilled directly into the opposition from the Dogs.
Yeah, I think he had a look there. I don't think it was too bad a pass, but I think he had a look at the defence rushing up on him and took his eye off the ball. And unfortunately, a drop ball for the Dogs, and Penrith will work it out from their own try line.
So nearly 15 minutes of play, no score as of yet. Now, of course, the Panthers have piled on the points in the opening 5 rounds, I should say. So we expect them to find the try line. There's big contact, though. Jamming in was Hamish Wilson and got every part of him. In fact, he's a little worse for wear, that Penrith man.
He did that a couple of weeks ago against Newcastle numerous times and cut down the attack of the night. So always good to see a centre read the play properly.
And good little offload through the middle there as well from Penrith. Goodsell picks up a few extra metres as a result. Now they'll look to put boot to ball here through Hami Loza right out towards the sideline. Geez, I think Puru may have let that go if he had another chance of doing so. He was very close to getting into touch.
Yeah, but he's once again, Canterbury got it on the just outside their 30, so they're winning the arm wrestle at the moment because they're probably just slightly winning the field position.
Now Nasser carting it forward. Good metres from him. Placed it about 5 metres shy of that halfway line. Now into enemy territory. Midway through the count here. Conti. Then out for Hayward, looking for a little bit of work coming in off his wing. Play on the call. Will beat another and in the end picks up about 20 metres with that run. Great work from Sheldon Hayward. Now Smith right up Main Street. Brings it inside the 20. Last one brought up here for the Dogs. Young will send it out to this right-hand side. Conti chipping it high. Nasser trying to make a play at it. Getting above them, though, was a brilliant take out there from Harry Wald, who diffuses the situation, although has he come up with an error upon landing?
Yeah, it looks like he must have dropped it right as he hit the ground because it looked like he took it quite well. Conti's already shown us so far his kicking game. He's a little grubber that only just went dead. A good kick there. He's touch finder early. He's got a big kick on him, but he's also got a clever kick.
So they'll pack the scrum here. The Dogs just 10 metres away from the try line. They've had plenty of ball down this end of the field. No score as of yet after about 16 minutes, but the likes of Conti and Tauper and Puru, he'd be backing them to find a way through. Here is Conti linking up with Puru with a bit of speed, or tried to find Hayward on play number 1. Well, if the pass is going to be thrown, it has to find its mark, and that one was poorly timed.
Yeah, rush of blood there by Puru. Didn't need to throw that ball, first tackle. And he's let the Penrith defence off the hook. He'd be disappointed with that.
So Penrith survived that raid from the Dogs. Only had to see off the one play. Goodsell and linking up through the middle. Good metres in traffic for that matter. And still carrying big Finau Latu with him. Will play it about 30 metres away from the try line. Goodsell then finding a runner in the form of Hokofonu Lamoto. Fast play the ball. And they'll take the metres once again here. These big Penrith forwards just rolling upfield. Lamoto playing it here. Goodsell. Short delivery. Met there by Sisefo Finau. Last one brought up here for the Panthers. Loza will once again supply the end of set bomb. Testing out Puru. Chasers coming through. Lands a little shy of the mark. Still alive now for the Panthers. They'll throw it backwards and then dived on by Carey.
Yeah, you normally don't want to see the ball bounce, and Canterbury allowed it to bounce there, and they were lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, good little scoop once again from Nasser. He's been happy to hop in and look for a little dart. Plenty of work from him so far. It's now Haywood as well. His other winger will cart it forward and again gets good meterage. So 40 away now, the Dogs. Young showing it, looking for a run there from Puru, who for mine was grabbed before he caught it. No penalty forthcoming though. Now a little jink and a hop and a step and nearly away down this right-hand side. There's a number of walking wounded though. Puru is down. There's a Panther down as well. Tauper back to Conti. Latu set upon again. He's caught flat-footed. And will lose ground here. So it hasn't been a great beginning here for Finau Latu in this one. There's a real issue now. Well, looks for potentially Nasser out there as Tauper puts it on the toe. Plenty of space in behind. Good weight about things. Nasser's there. Oh, somehow didn't come up with it though.
From where we're sitting, I think the ball was going to go out and he's tried to flick it back and the Penrith players dived on it. But going back to what you said earlier, I thought that was a dead set penalty for Canterbury. He was grabbed before he caught it.
Yeah, it didn't really look to be even a 50-50. That was quite a blatant one.
It's one of those situations, if he dropped it, he probably would have got the penalty, but he was able to hold on to it.
So in the end, Penrith have actually knocked it over the dead ball line, so a goal line dropout to come. As we approach the halfway point in this first half. An engrossing contest despite the fact we haven't seen any points yet.
And good to see Perot back on his feet.
So a long restart this time, splitting Conti and Patrick Carey. It's a great one. We'll pick up the best part of 65 metres and force the Dogs to march back into enemy territory. Although I must say, that's a pretty slow chase really from Penrith because they've turned around about 30 metres, the Dogs.
I think because Peru was injured, he was actually out of position there, and they were able to find the gap between Conti and the prop.
Now Alatini plays it short side here. Puru trying to link up. Loza certainly played at that one. And another set to come here for the Dogs. So they're definitely targeting this left-hand defensive edge of the Panthers.
They just need to settle down a little bit and probably get a little bit deeper. So a couple of times now that the forwards have got the ball right on the advantage line under pressure.
They've had all the field positions so far in this match. Conti has been asking plenty of questions. Tauper has as well. Just get the feeling that combination of Conti and Puru, that's where it will reap dividends for the Dogs.
Yeah, they've definitely got the speed. They've just got the pass has got to stick, and they've got to be patient.
So now Conti defeated. Out to Tauper it goes. Linking up on that left-hand edge there with Fitzgibbon out of one tackle. Now tries to beat a second with the footwork. He's lost a boot in the process. He's now wrapped up about 12 metres away. They'll continue down that short side. Out of acting half is Young. Pops a pass here for Tauper, who gets very close and is eventually pushed back into the field of play. Only about 20 centimetres away, and then out of acting half. I think Patrick Young's had a dig and comes up trumps. Well, he went on the previous play and nearly got there. Second time's the charm, and the Dogs, after all the early territory and all the pressure, get first points.
Yeah, poor market play there. You've got to get low. You know the hooker's going to take you on if you're not in the right position. That's exactly what Young did, and he was able to get underneath the markers for the first points for Canterbury. So 20 minutes of play it's taken for the first try.
Really good battle unfolding here, though, at Belmore. If you are just joining us, previous match, the Knock-On Effect New South Wales Cup Round 6 action, the opening match of the round. Big victory there for Penrith, 42 points to 10. They just got on a roll, and they were very hard to stop, and I don't think either team has really, quote-unquote, got on a roll so far. The Dogs have had the better of the field position, but some of that has been self-inflicted by the Panthers.
Yeah, it's been end-to-end stuff, but we've only really had the one decent break from Penrith's fullback Cameron Canane. Otherwise, it's been pretty good defence from both sides.
So Conti now will have this strike from roughly 8 metres in from that left-hand touchline and 21 metres back. In a busy opening for Alex Conti. Good challenge for him here today up against the top of the table Panthers, but certainly hasn't looked out of place so far in the Knock-On Effect New South Wales Cup in 2026. So a plethora of talent in the Dogs' halves. Of course, they've shifted on both Joseph O'Neill and Cassius Tia, but Mitch Woods, Conti here as well, and what a great strike that is from Conti from out wide. 4 becomes 6. The Dogs in control at the halfway point in this first half.
Well, Conti's certainly shown leadership, and he's moving the Canterbury players around the field. He knows exactly where he wants them to be, and he certainly hasn't been, upset by the fact that he's back in Jersey Flegg. He's used the experience of New South Wales Cup to come back to Jersey Flegg and lead the boys around the park.
So another former Tigers junior. There's a few of them floating about here today. Penrith will now have the restart for the first time in this match. It's taken a fair while to get points on the board for either team, but I dare say they won't be the last for the evening. Both teams happy to throw it around. It's been great action so far. So back underway. Haywood takes it down. And now into the action off the bench. Chase Patterson in jersey 15 will cart it forward. Playing it now, and then Haywood off the back of that run picks up good meterage here in traffic, about 15. So valuable meters every time he takes the carry.
He's a huge asset for the team. He's such a big winger, and he makes easy yards, big yards every time he takes the ball.
And that's much better from Finau Latu as well. That time hit the ball with a full head of steam. Bud Smith trying to isolate the markers on that carry. Now Patterson gets a second hit up in this set. Good way to get yourself into the action off the bench. Last one brought up now for the Dogs. Tauper will send it high. Chasers coming through. Pressure now on Wold, who gets above them. No mistake this time. And he's wrapped up inside the 10. So a terrific set after points from the Dogs.
Yeah, exactly the set you want after you've scored. Up the middle. Good 4 strong runs with a nice kick into the corner and a good chase on the end of it.
Penrith being forced to work away from their own line. They'll look expansive and send it out to this left-hand edge. Now good footwork to beat one. Still bouncing forward here. Excellent run in the end for the Panthers. Now, was that a second attempt to slow down the play of the ball? Play on, says the referee, but Armstrong did a great job. Now they'll go coast to coast back out to this right-hand side. Catch and pass. They're away now, the Panthers, fending off defenders. Eventually wrapped up about 25 metres away, but they've gone the best part of 70 metres in 2 plays. Now floated back to the middle. Penrith building here. Pressure arriving on Lamotta, who's eventually wrapped up through the middle of the field. Last one brought up. They were going nowhere at the start of the set, but they have certainly corrected course. Now Loza chipping to a corner, trying to turn around those Dogs defenders, and then knocked deep from Puru as casually as you like with the toe.
Yeah, he gets the penalty. There was a push in the back as he caught it, so ref had no hesitation to give a penalty. But I love the expansion of Penrith. They've gone from one sideline to the other and got outside the Dogs on 2 occasions there. And as you said, 70 metres upfield.
So penalty here, though, for the Dogs with roughly 18 minutes remaining in this first half. 6-0 the score. Panthers preparing to make a change too with Lucas Rossi up on the bench. So wrapped up about 20 metres away from their own try line here. Nasser once again coming in for a bit of work, and as much as we talk about Haywood and driving forward from his wing, Nasser gets through an oodle of runs.
Yeah, it's the size of Haywood and the speed of Nasser, isn't it? They both complement each other with those yards coming in to help the forwards.
Now Puru out of acting half, taking off, spotted half an opportunity and will pick up 15 metres in traffic. Tough carry from the little fullback.
Tedesco like there.
Now Tauper takes it right into the line, asking questions, nearly linked up with Sisefo Finau, and now putting it on the toe here. Good chance for the Dogs, and there's a genuine trap attempt from both players. Well, that was like watching a little bit of soccer there, but winning out at the back was Kennard.
Yeah, he was pretty calm. He got his foot to it and then made sure he dived on it before the Canterbury player could get to it. Cheap penalty here, though. Penrith will get out of danger here.
Bihami Loza, who will look for the sideline. Remarkably calm under pressure there, Kennard, because that was an awkward situation. So good touch finder from Loza, just shy of the halfway line. Penrith desperate to get a bit of time down the opposition 20.
Canterbury bench warming up, and if you've been watching, it's great entertaining first half by these two sides, and we can see why both teams are in the top 4.
So good little run there made by Sangalang. And turned back towards the middle by Raven. Finding support, and then Alatini over the top, along with Finau-Latu. Loza on this left-hand side. Draw and pass, looking for Armstrong, but he was chopped down beautifully in a good tackle. Good sell. Raven. Finding another run on this occasion. Just outside the 10. Fast play the ball from Goodsell. Takes it out to that right-hand side. Loza off the right foot. Then straightening. Got right towards the try line. Turned on his back. But they've also got a set restart. They'll come back to the 10.
Definitely put the afterburners on there. Stepped inside off his right and unlucky not to score. Good defence from the Dogs.
So Loza now will play it. Still plenty of opportunity here for the Panthers. They've got a full set to work with. Wrapped up about 5 metres away. Sangalang will play it. Good sell. Flat ball there, and then trying to back his way to the line was Nullavow. Nullavow turned away. Good sell comes out to this left-hand side here for Loza, floating a pass over the top, and Hayward once again takes the intercept for mine, then dropped it into the Panthers. So this should be a Penrith ball once again, but geez, you would have thought the Panthers would have done their homework and realised that Hayward has this massive vertical leap.
Having said that, if he doesn't get his hand to that, they score in the corner. So, you know, it was worth it. I think it was worth the chance. And as you said, referee was quick to pick up that he'd knocked it on into the Penrith player.
So 11:45 on the clock here. Really has gone along at a frantic pace. Hard to believe we've only had the one try, but Penrith, their best field position of the match, and a good chance to put something on the board here. Loza will feed it. They're well set to this right-hand side. That's the way they go. Goodsell, Loza, then just meekly distributing in the end there for Joshua DeBrett. And DeBrett play it now about 10 metres away from the try line. Short delivery here for Rossi, who carts it forward, met there in a three-man tackle. Getting very close to the try line in the end, though, could nearly reach out. Good sell. In at acting half. Sweeps it away. A rise into the path of Loza. Not a good ball there into the path of Armstrong, who was never expecting it. He was a decoy runner, but he got a little bit too close.
Yeah, lack of communication between the two there. So, unfortunately, the ball's back in the Canterbury hands. Disappointing end to the Penrith set there.
And a set restart now as well for the Dogs. So up towards the 20 on play number 1. That just eases the pressure as well, coming up with a restart early in the count.
Another sub being made.
Oh, geez, that's a bad tackle. There could be a real issue here now for Nullavow. That one was well and truly beyond the horizontal, and for mine landing on the head, I think this could be a send-off.
It definitely seemed to be possible send-off.
That was a really bad one. It was, and this is probably the distinction as well, it was with force and driving into the ground. It wasn't simply a flick and then leave. It was followed through. I think the Panthers have a real problem here. They could be down to 12, as you mentioned, if not a sin-bin. I'm thinking potentially a send-off here.
Linesman just separating the two sides after the tackle. The players had rushed in, and fortunately with no punches thrown.
There's a nervous wait now for young Judah, and the brush of the hair there, I think he knows it's not going to be a good conversation here with the referee.
So just talking to the linesman, just establishing that they agree on what should happen next.
I dare say if we had the benefit of the bunker here, it wouldn't really help Nullavow's case either, though.
I do like the fact, I know it slows the play down, but I like the fact that they are talking. He's talking to his linesman, making sure that the call is made correctly.
So Tauper being brought out now. I can only imagine this is for third man in. As Hayward has been brought over. Question is whether it's a talking to or time in the bin for that action.
And officials are strict on anyone that comes in as the third man.
Well, this is the big one now. So Nullavow called out. I would be very surprised if it's not straight from the field for the rest of the match. Dangerous and driving on reports. Well, at the moment, it's not even 10 in the bin. Wow, well, that's a bizarre call for mine. I believe that landed on the head and with a drive. I am flabbergasted how it's not at least a sin bin.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I guess we'll find out during the week when they have a look at it more closely and decide on an appropriate punishment. But lucky to get away with having 13 on the field still.
That is a curious decision, we'll say. So Wilson out, can't set up into enemy territory. And I dare say both teams will be pretty pumped up off the back of that. Oh, and unfortunately they're pumped up in the wrong way. Cliff on his first carry spills it.
Yeah, horrible mistake to make, and made even worse by now a penalty to give Penrith good field position. We saw lots of drop ball in the New South Wales Cup game, and let's hope we don't see a repeat of it in this match.
It was the Dogs who were guilty of a very poor completion rate in that previous fixture here on Bar TV. As now DeBritt turns it back to the middle. Here's Lucas Rossi carting it forward inside the 20. He comes now. Nicely shaped out to this left-hand side, the Panthers. That's the way they come through. Loza short pass to Jack Ewer, who's out there now. Just outside the 10, he's wrapped up. Good sell. Back to this right-hand side. Loza pulling all the strings, and now Kanan just skipping past the first defender. Wrapped up, though, about 10 metres away from the try line by Tauper. Good sell. Short pass once again, and then looking to find an opening, but set upon quickly. That one also creeping up a little too high, this time from Conti.
Yeah, both teams need to just settle down. Another dangerous tackle here. No doubt Penrith will go for the try.
So here they go, full set to work with, out to Armstrong on this left-hand side. A jinking run, trying to open up a passage. Set upon there by 3 defenders. Good sell, back to the middle. Finds Loza. Now a big dummy and away they go through. Ball, Harrison, ball. Will split them, however. The obstruction is called, and it won't stand here for the Panthers.
It looked too easy, didn't it? The way he went through the gap and found the try line. So referee had no hesitation but to penalise him for obstruction. So disappointing for the Panthers because they look dangerous there.
So just over 7 minutes remaining. Conti with a decent touch finder once again. They'll start this set 30 metres away from their own try line. I think the Dogs would be very happy to take a lead into the halftime break. So restarted now. And again, lifted, this time put to ground safely. Strong contact once more, this time from Rossi, but up and over halfway go the Dogs. 2 plays down.
Been impressed with Rossi's work rate since he's come on. Very busy in both attack and defence.
Now Chase Patterson carts it forward about 40 metres away from the Panthers try line. Out of acting half is Young. He was trying to catch the markers, not square. Probably had a case as well.
He did.
But
he got 6 again. So
there it is now, called from the referee. So clever work from Young. And now Lincoln Cliff carts it forward about 28 metres away from the try line. Conti up to the line. Then distributing a pass for Alatini, who's hammered in the tackle. The ball comes free. And now a 0 tackle for the Panthers, 25 away from their own line.
So once again letting the Panthers off the hook there with a spill. And Penrith will work it out from their own line.
So up towards the 40 once again here go the Panthers. Conti muscling up in defence. Along with Alatini looking to make amends off the back of that loose carry. And now Loza takes off out of acting half. Big step, chips over the top. Looking for the regather. Hayward is there. A room service bounce for Penrith. And they'll maintain possession 10 metres away from the try line. So they've still got a few plays up their sleeves. Loza gets it through the middle. Shuffles it on. Tough one to deal with. Kanan, great hands. Now the big right foot step. Set upon there by Patterson. Wrapped up just outside the 10. Good sell. Out to this right-hand side. Catch a pass from Ball. Ball then looking for support. Went over the line in the previous set, but of course denied with that obstruction call. Last one brought up. This time looking for Loza, who threatens the kick. Stays alive in the play. Now Ball puts it on the toe into the arms of Puru with a slips catch. Wow, that was a mess of a final play from the Panthers, but good alertness from Puru.
Great take by Puru. And it was almost 2 metres maybe. The kick came at him and he was able to catch it and make yards from it. But another mistake. I'm not sure if we're playing with a football or a piece of soap this evening at Belmore.
What's that old sunlight soap, the one you keep in the kitchen? I think that's what's the ball's been carved out of it.
It's just so much simple drop ball.
So once again, though, it means that Penrith will have a good look at the line here. So 4.5 remaining in this first half. Still yet to post any points. Scrum fed, and now Loza takes off out to this left-hand side. Tries to get around the outside of Young. They broke a little bit too early from the scrum, so we'll come back to the middle of the field for a penalty.
He's looked dangerous, Loza. He looks like a good young player, this young man from Newcastle. He's on a 2-year contract with Penrith.
He's got the dancing feet. And they've opted to repack the scrum here, the Panthers. Of course, it is an optional penalty. So 20 metres away from the try line. And here goes Goodsell now out to this right-hand side. Ball linking up with DeBrit. Oh, and DeBrit then tries to slip a pass on play number 1. Well, we saw it before from the Dogs with Puru off the back of a scrum. There's just no patience from either team at the moment.
You don't have to score on the first. You get the same amount of points if you score on the third or fourth as you do the first. But rush of blood there. Maybe looking at the clock. But, yeah, really let Canterbury off the hook there because they'd had 3 or 4 sets against Canterbury. And would have been hoping to score going into half-time.
Well, the way this has gone over the past 5 minutes, they might still get another chance here. Canterbury still, of course, have to complete and try and clear it away from this end, but you'd be a brave man to bet that'll occur at this point in time. They do get the scrum win, though. So out to Nasser, who's looking for a little bit of work and carts it forward.
He's never shy of taking the ball up, Nasser.
Always hungry for carries, and then Lincoln Cliff also marching forward now. Gets a fast play the ball. Once again, trying to catch these markers offside and not square, but unable to do so on this occasion. Now Latu carts it forward. They really have kept Big Finau under wraps so far in this first half, the Panthers.
Yeah, he's been busy and he's had plenty of runs, but he hasn't been as lethal as we may have thought.
Between the frame and that experience in the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup, you'd probably expect a little bit more impact from him. Now Conti sends it high on the last. Chasers coming through. Awkward bounce picked up here from Armstrong. Geez, that's a soft penalty for mine. Well, they're going to say contact there from Rossi. Now, he did make contact with Conti. For mine, it was after the ball was kicked and then he was cradled. So I'm not sure what more Penrith could have done.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a penalty, but the referee's made the call. This gives Canterbury a good opportunity. They'd love to go into the half-time break with a 12-point lead.
Well, Conti not thinking of pushing it beyond that converted try margin with a penalty goal. He wants to keep the pressure on here. So Patterson will cart it forward. Wrapped up about 15 metres away from the try line. Young hops in an acting half. Cuts out Latu. Then links up with Cliff. 10 metres away. Conti scheming once again. Gets it at first receiver. Conti finding Latu, who's a little bit wider on this occasion. Wrapped up 5 metres from the try line. Fanned out to this left-hand side. Conti gets it once again. Cliff will cart it forward. So it's just been the Cliff, Conti and Latu show at the moment in this set. They need a little more variation here, the Dogs. Conti now takes it forward. Tauper, catch and pass. Oh, last one once again doesn't hit the mark. Geez, they've let some tries go to waste, both of these teams.
Yeah, once again, ball goes behind the last pass goes behind the winger, and we see the ball go out the sideline. So 40 seconds to go. Looks like it'll be a 6-0 lead to Canterbury, but an entertaining first half. As much as we've seen a little bit of drop ball, the drop balls come predominantly on the end of a backline move, and we've certainly seen some entertaining football.
That's a good point you raised with about 30 seconds left on the clock. And don't forget, Westpac Blatchy's Blues tickets are on sale now. Be part of the passion, pride and party and secure your seat by heading to newsouthwalesrugbyleague.com.au/origin/tickets. So final chance for a little raid here from the Panthers. Do they think of something expansive in the last 10 seconds? Goodsell out for Loza, catch and pass once again. Then for Rossi, who carts it forward. This should be the final play. If he can get a quick play, the ball might get away with one more. and won't get there in time. So a low-scoring but entertaining affair here at Belmore in this first half. It's the Dogs in control, 6 points to nil. But I think once again the key message from both coaches will be hold on to the football.
You're absolutely right, James, and I'm looking forward to this second half. And whoever does hold on to the football, I think will take this one out.
There's been multiple chances for both teams, but just the one